All right, so today is a Tuesday. Let's take a look. This is gold. I've already put the hours here. Yesterday I talked about this zone. As you can see, there's a trade already in there from yesterday. And the reason for that is we have to have a reason, right? Let's take a look at gold. July 14 today. Okay, so it was a drain day. Okay, so we had an exhaustion blow off, which means the market shot up, exhausted itself, and then boom, down. So I think we're reading it pretty good so far. And that was it. Another exhaustion blow off around 11 and midnight, between 11 and midnight. So it was a drain day. Getting in was the way to go. We had here, let's do this. Let's fit this in. We had 845, which was a low one. So that was not to be taken because it's low. Market goes up into that time zone. And then we had 859.05, which is the low one, and 1235 to 105, and that's your 1235 to 105. Okay, so the 845.905 market goes up, gets exhausted. 12:15 market starts to sizzle down. As you can see, we're going. Okay, and then now we've got a Fibonacci, as you can see. Now we've got a retracement at 37.5, nearly 37.5. Let me get rid of this now that you've seen it. And we've got trading hours again. Let's do this. Tuesday. Then Tuesday 9:40, 10:25. That's where we're at now. Okay. Next hour is 12:45. Let's take a look at Tuesday now. 9:35 to 10:50, which is where we're at. Trap-like reversal. So market up. Maybe we'll have a trap-like reversal here as well. So it's worthwhile keeping an eye out for it. Okay, nice. And then we have 1050 to 225 momentum push. So I'm thinking that's from the highs, and this is why I'm short. Market's up. Fibonacci zone 37.5. So that's that. One to cover the trade. The other one is a longer term. As you can see, I've got targets down here. According to the PST, 27 on the daily, 3,832. Okay, as you can see, that's a little darker. 27.74, 27.62 on top of each other. So 3,835.32 zone. On the weekly, TSM, that's 26, 3,860. So they're pretty close. So 3,860 is down there as well. So I want to make sure that 3,860, we're probably going to be, covered around there. Okay, so although that's a little lower according to the daily, okay, we'll see how things go, because I am going to keep 3,860 in mind. And if the market dips down but closes above 3,860 or at that level, then if it's a trade day, we'll want to turn around, won't we? Okay, so make sure you're following your trade days and trade hours. And this is basically how we should be trading day to day, checking things out. All right, so okay, let's take a look at euro dollar. With the euro dollar, Tuesday and Thursday, I think we had from the weekly insight which was what we needed to take a look at. With the euro dollar as well, remember, I said it's a little tricky because, let's do it, because we're here, right? So it's a little tricky, as you can see. But the market did sell off. It didn't break the TSM, which is fine. Good buy kiss at 44, which is 14.097. 14.09 is around here. So if we go touch that, it might be, the market might sell off afterwards a little bit more. Lower targets 29.31. There is like 13.38. So around that zone. When it says 13.38, obviously don't go for 13.38 to the dot. So around 13.30, 13.40 and 45 is where you want to be, taking profit. Also on the weekly, remember we got support at 35 and 33, 13.70 and 13.20, let's say. So those are the zones we might go and touch before the market kind of like takes off. Okay. On the weekly. So following it down is still on the cards. Mark your price levels as per the TSM indicator. And that's basically it. Okay. And if you want to sell, 14.15 or 14.09, that's the zone. 14.15, 14.09 is your zone. If time and price match, selling again is an option. Okay, that's the way to go. Let's take a look at BTC. So want to be trading with time and price and just matching it to those zones according to your technical analysis is the way to go. All right, so this is Bitcoin. Now, we already know the days for this one, so I'm not going to go over the days every day. You guys have the report. I talked about these price levels. The market hit them nice and easy. Now we have a sideways kind of market here. We are still lower than that peak. On the weekly, impulse sideways. So market going lower is looking like the way to go. Where can we get down to? Well, can we come down into here? Probably, this is the weekly, so it's a little far out, but it's 54.665, and I don't mind following the trend to the downside, not a problem. If it's a trade day, if you're obviously trading Bitcoin and you're in the members area, well, check out your weekly insight, right? So we've got Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So these 2 days are going to be important. And if the market is down on Tuesday, maybe going up is the way to go as an intraday kind of a trade. Or Tuesday, Wednesday from the lows you want to go up. That's also doable. And if the market is like, down 3 days, heading somewhere and then picking up is okay. There's still a bit of a target down here, 41. So if you want to buy a low, according to TSM, where should you be thinking about getting in? So if it's a trade day, a trade hour, look for the price of 41, 61,283, and this red line here should be pretty close to it, HCL1, 61,409. So you see, that's 61,409 plus the 61,283. Right, so now you got pricing. All right, so those are your pricing zones there. So if you kind of like dip down and you want to kind of go up on the trade days, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's doable. Then all you got to do is put your price lines in, match it to your hours. Okay. I've also Okay, I'll talk about that later. Let's take a look at SP 500. With the SP 500, you guys already know from ages ago. This is Monday, Tuesday. You guys know the swing days anyway, so I'm not going to go repeat them. But this is Tuesday. So yesterday was routine. Tuesday was flow day. Today is a flow day. So let's take a look at what we have. Now, you already know your alert windows and everything. Look at that in New York, trap like reversal. That's good to know. In New York, trap like reversal. So let's take a look. Thank you for that little alarm there. Now, remember I spoke about this zone, so I did say selling the highs is also okay here, not a drama. Look at the support today. 49, a price of 7489. $7,489 is there, guys. 7489. Wow, spot on. That's what I like about TSM. Just drives you nuts with accuracy. That's 615. Did I have a 615? Because that's what we want to look out for. Look, I had a 704 in the morning. And guys, this is your 704 in the morning. Market nicely going up, nice and easy. Okay, so what do we really want to do? So let's take a look. We've got daily support. And what you want to do is, if you're obviously not using TSM, but soon you will be able to, okay? Your resistance for today is 57, but we're going to go a little deeper. That's 7,560. So just mark that in, but I'm going to do something a little better. Because this TSM is now deadly, I am going to do this. Okay, this is now my line. That is a price of 7,566. 7,566 is up here. If the market does go up there again, if it's a trading hour, you want to sell, you can. All right, possible stop sweep here. What hours do you want to look out for? Obviously, Tuesday, we have New York hours. I've already noted that. Okay. Also, take a look at expect momentum push continuation, 12:45. So 12:45, check that hour zone as well. This is Tuesday. And then we've got, look, 5:15 to 6:30, trap like reversal. If that does happen, you want to time it just after 6:30. Match it to your technical analysis, obviously. And just after 6:30, sudden moves until 7:15. So there you go, right? That's in the zone, 10 past 5, look. And that's your 7:15. So it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense to, check that out. Look. All right. So that's that. So if you want to sell, just do it from the highs, because as you can see here, I just want to check out the weekly as well, because it might help. Okay, so this is, look also here. This is your classical TSM trend line, but what I've done is something really good. You can always take one day and just do that, and you'll see your support for this week. It's going to be 7478. So on top of that, you got to look out for 7478. If we break 7478, all right, like let's say we broke below it, okay, then like we're going to go down further. So any intraday pull up or intra-week pull up is an excuse to sell. So this could happen tomorrow. Look what's happening tomorrow. I've got two lines crisscrossing tomorrow, because this is today and this is tomorrow. All right, pretty much there. So they're crisscrossing. That price will change tomorrow. Why? Because tomorrow is a new day and this is going to be daily, right? So then that's that. And that's how, we can do it. If you wanted to check out for a good buy kiss, could you draw a second line? Yes, you can, from the low to the low. And oops, come here. No, come here. Come on, mate. Nope, there you are. Well, that is off. Okay, that's not what I want. I'll get that fixed. Let's do that. All right. So as you can see, that's like a good buy kiss. Okay. And you can see that that is 7,528. Okay. So 7,528. 7,528 is there. Okay. So it's pretty much dot on. Okay. There you go. 7,528 is there. See what I mean? So this kind of stuff really helps, because that's where they're selling off now. And remember, it's a trade hour. Okay, 9 o'clock. So using the TSM also, which I'm going to make available soon, should get our knickers out of a knot. That's 0926. That's your 0915 to 30. If you enter on there, you're good. All right. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones yesterday had a shock day, didn't it? Shock. It's a shocking day. Let's see what happened. Now, this was also a nice thing, but obviously the trend is up, so I was scared about this one, but I'll show you something really unique. And that unique thing is just understanding how to use TSM and matching your pricing. Okay. Now look at yesterday. This is yesterday, right? Yesterday is -1. Yesterday's high was 63, and the high price for 63 is 52,847. 52,847. 52,847, guys. This is where it is. Whoopsie daisy. You see? Exactly on the dot. Okay. So that is how precise things can get, and that's a trade hour. And that is a shocking day. All right. So just make sure once the TSM is available, I'll do more videos on it, obviously, to make life easier for the users. But just understand that, this is pretty precise stuff. And so with the Dow Jones, what should we do? Well, look, we are right on the support at 52 on the daily, and that's where the market bought. Isn't that a great spot for scalping the market at 52,325? 52,325 is there. Was that a right time? Well, we did have 7 o'clock, didn't we? There you go. From here to there is already like 1 to 4, because you should have your stop loss just under there, or your stop loss should be under. Okay, yeah, it should be under this line here. Okay, and that's sort of like 1 to 2.5 to 3. Okay, so scalping, very, very powerful indeed as well. So what you want to do with the Dow Jones, just follow through. Okay, so this looks like we might come down. If it breaks this zone, obviously you want to sell if the market goes up. Where would you like to sell? Well, there are no gaps here. As you can see, they screwed everybody over here. And now, selling anywhere along those highs of yesterday would be fine. NASDAQ. As with NASDAQ, you guys know what's going to happen before it happens. So just go through your alert windows. Look out for the trap-like reversal. It's a gain day. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Gain day Tuesday and gain day Wednesday. So let's take a look. Well, they've already done a bit of gaining. Let's see. If I was to think about buying today, your support is at 39, price off 28,757. So if it's going to go up 27, what was it? Crap, I forgot. 28,757. 28,757. 28. Oops, 28,757, somewhere around there. So obviously you don't want to be going below here, okay, because that will break the daily TSM, which we don't want. But if you want to buy, that's going to be your best bet, okay. Your first resistance is at 49. Price off 29,558. 29,558. Right? Which looks fair enough. So a bit of a stop sweep and selling off at trade hours is looking fine as well. On the weekly, oh, we're at a resistance there. So that is looking more like a sell-off to me. So if the market wants to come down, it's doable. So selling the high to push down is okay, and you want to be careful here. All right, so that's that. Have a good day.